Welcome back, everybody, to Scouting Movies. We are talking a movie called A Handful of Dust today. It's a Dickensian kind of movie that wants to be a Merchant Ivory movie that wants to be a metaphorical movie. It's a lot of things wrapped into one. And we'll talk about how it works or doesn't work here in just a few minutes. But let's start with a synopsis of A Handful of Dust. Directed by Charles Sturridge, based on Evelyn Waugh's novel. Handful of Dust follows Tony Last, played by James Wilby, a deeply traditional English gentleman who loves two things: his family and his ancestral home, Hetton Abbey. Life seems perfect. He's got the big estate, he's got his wife, he's got a son, but his wife, Brenda, played by Kristen Scott Thomas, doesn't really like it. She's not feeling great about this whole thing. So she starts up an affair with social climber John Beaver, who's just aggressively bland. Uh, Things start unraveling fast. Tragedy strikes. There's going to be some spoilers in this movie in my review. There's not much I can do about that because it's a lot of the criteria or the critical stuff that I'm reviewing, and so if you don't want any spoilers, I would go watch it right now. Come back to me, but I'm going to pause for a second in case you want to do that. Okay. Tragedy strikes when their son is killed in a horse riding accident. And when that happens, the marriage starts to crumble. Divorce is on the table. Suddenly, Tony's whole life is circling down the drain, which would be enough drama. And then the movie really swerves. And let's get into that in a little bit when the spoilers really start coming. But let's talk about the cast for a second. James Wilby plays Tony Last. He's one of those characters that doesn't seem like he's doing a whole lot. That's kind of the point. He's pretty passive at first. He doesn't want to do anything. He wants to kind of lay in his depression in his house while the whole world crumbles around him. Uh, when things do collapse, Wilby plays this with heartbreak so much that it hurts. It's really, really good stuff. Kristen Scott Thomas is, she kills it. Her Brenda is complicated. It's not just the cheating wife, but it's someone who's trapped in a life that's all parties and wallpaper, and you don't like her for sure. You don't like her character. She's really kind of an evil character, but you understand her a little bit, what she's going through. Then there's John Beaver, played by Rupert Graves, and he's a wet napkin of a man. That's what exactly what makes the character work. That Kristen Scott Thomas's character is looking for anything, literally anything else, just to give her life some adventure, some fun in it. But because Beaver, he has social ambition with absolutely zero substance. It's practically like what LinkedIn would be like if it was a person. On the surface, this looks like your standard British period piece. It looks like a Merchant Ivory film. Underneath, though, it's a brutal takedown of the class system, of tradition, the lies we tell ourselves to make us feel civilized. Uh, in that way, it's a Dickensian novel. Charles Dickens spent a whole lot of time in a lot of his novels talking about class systems and why they don't work or the parody of them. And there's a lot of that in A Handful of Dust. The way it portrays British upper class, it's not romantic. It's not even nostalgic. It's decaying in the sense. Their whole lives in Hetton Abbey are decaying. Uh, Hetton Abbey is beautiful, but it's falling apart from the inside. It's emotionally paralyzed. Even the tragic moments are kind of wrapped in this cold politeness. When your son is killed. There's a certain way you're still supposed to act, and it's absurd. But everyone's trying not to cry at a dinner party in the sense. And then the Brazil section hits, and you're wondering what Brazil. That's exactly what you think when you see this, because again, there's spoilers here. Everything falls apart at home. Tony decides that he wants to go to Brazil to escape it all on some kind of expedition. It seems pretty random, but this section is wildly important because uh, he gets lost in the jungle, and he is taken in by a tribe of natives that's led by a former Englishman played by Sir Alec Guinness himself. And his he wants um, he wants James Wilby's character to just stay there and read Charles Dickens novels to him the whole time, aloud, forever. It's eerie, it's sad, it's pretty creepy, in fact. Uh, but at the end, it's oddly poetic. He's this guy that came from everything. He had every single thing he wanted in his British class system. But when he goes to Brazil, he becomes prisoner of reading Charles Dickens novels to this guy. And all of the class systems disappear completely. He's left alone. It's a really good metaphor of the crumbling of the class systems. Out in Brazil, no one cares who you were. No one cares the class systems you came from. It only matters to the few people that are over there, and that's kind of what this movie is saying. So it's brilliant, really. It's a brilliant metaphor. As far as the production value, Charles Sturridge restrains all of his direction in all the right ways. The visuals never scream for attention. It's really good production design, really good costume design. The score is melancholy. It's understated, quietly devastating. It doesn't overpower scenes. It just nudges the emotions along. A handful of dust. So, wrapping everything up here, is a film that doesn't really uh, shock you. There's not a whole lot of crazy gunfights or anything like that. It's again like a Merchant Ivory drama where there's just a lot of talking in a lot of rooms, but it seeps into your bones if you allow it. It morphs into something a lot darker and a lot stranger. It's about how class systems aren't just cruel; they're absolutely absurd. And here's why. I mean, uh, again, our main character, played by James Wilby's whole life comes unraveling apart, and then he's left destitute in a jungle reading Charles Dickens novels. Meanwhile, Brenda, uh, when she tries to go for the throat and take Hetton Abbey away from her ex husband, he turns the tables back on her. Which is actually a really satisfying scene to watch because he's been passive this whole time, and then finally he takes a stand. But uh, that's an important thing too. But when he does that, it causes Brenda to lose in her battle, and she becomes destitute wealthily. I think the end she has her going over to America. I think in the novel, and trying to win a fortune there too because she's lost everything in England. It's about how the entire class system just crumbles because of one incident and of the way that people react to it, as well as the things around it. So again, it's not flashy. It's not feel good at all. It's just smart, haunting, and beautiful from start to finish. Uh, so, what am I going to give a handful of dust in the way of grade? Um, I'm going to give it a B plus. It's not perfect, and it's not for everyone because it is pretty slow moving, but it is really good if you want to give it your attention. Try to understand the things that it's saying. It even applies now, even though it's a class system based on a novel that was written in the 1940s, I think. So it's really good. It's really important to watch. Uh, so again, that's it for a handful of dust. Let me know what you think about this review. If you agree with it, if you've seen a handful of dust, or if I made you want to go watch it. Uh, like, subscribe, comment. Uh, Give me your thoughts. Thanks, everyone.